Hi up, Rayvers. Just enjoying a relaxing train journey on the Trans-Siberian Express. Now, I've got a train-themed review for you this week, because June the 5th, that's the anniversary of the Orient Express's first ever journey. So I asked the good Ratrons and Nickel Ratrons over on my Patreon page for their train-themed suggestions. And we had some great ones on there, but the rotating review randomiser made its mind up and selected Horror Express. Horror Express. Yeah. Now, never seen this film, Horror Express. Didn't know out about it. But obviously, Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee, you got a seal of approval really there with them being in it, ain't you? Now, I watched this film, I think it was on YouTube. I found it on YouTube. And all the titles are in Spanish. They're all Spanish names and Spanish words and that. And all the actors seem to be Spanish, so yeah. Weren't sure what to make of that. Now, my Spanish ain't great, and I don't know what provincia de sexuals means. But I'm guessing China means China. So that's where things kick off. With Christopher Lee giving us a voiceover about some expedition gone pear-shaped.
I must accept responsibility for its ending in disaster.
Yes, all very ominous. And Christopher Lee plays Professor Sir Alexander Saxton, a British anthropologist leading this aforementioned expedition. Now, obviously, Christopher Lee's been in loads of stuff, played loads of memorable characters, but has he ever looked better than he does there? I think he looks absolutely fantastic there, doesn't he? He could be modelling the Marks & Spencer's winter collection there, couldn't he? It'd sell like hotcakes, because he makes it look so good. Any road, him and his team discover some frozen humanoid creature, who he assumes is like some sort of missing link, you know, like some sort of Bigfoot, Yeti, abominable snowman type thing. So he pops him in a crate, and they lug him along to the train station to transport him on the Trans-Siberian Express back to Europe. And Saxton is pretty irate because there seems to be a problem with his train booking, his seat booking. He's having an argument with this bloke who is obviously dubbed.
There's nothing I can do.
So I reckon most of these actors are Spanish and they've just dubbed them all into English. And who should turn out to be going on the same train but none other than Saxton's rival, Dr. Wells, played by Peter Cushing.
And what are you doing in Shanghai?
I'd ask you the same thing.
Oh, I'm just collecting a few specimens.
Collating a few specimens sounds like a euphemism for something lewd, doesn't it? And Wells seems a bit more jovial and light-hearted, whereas Saxton seems like a bit of an uptight arsehole. And while Saxton and Wells are arguing the toss in the ticket office, this shifty-looking fella decides to sneak a look inside the crate. But the next time we see him, he turns up dead. And this causes a bit of a kerfuffle on the train platform. And once he's seen his horrible white eyes, this priest bloke ain't backwards in coming forwards with his theory on how he got bumped off.
The work of the devil.
And obviously very agitated by this, he tries to rummage around to open the crate and see what's inside it, which Saxton takes exception to, because it's his scientific find, isn't it? You know, he don't want anybody else to get the credit for this missing link, frozen corpse, fossil thing. You know, he wants to show it off to the Geological Society, doesn't he? In much the same way that Professor Tinkle wanted credit for finding the Oozlem bird.
The Oozlem bird. It's gone.
You see, that's embarrassing, isn't it? Saxton don't want that to happen to him. So, unfazed, Saxton gets some dogs' bodies to take the crate onto the train. And he don't think there's that suspicious about it. Mind you, if you hear a dead fossil's stomach rumbling, that's enough to raise a few eyebrows, isn't it? Sometimes you can't tell if it's you or not, can you? Sometimes I'll ask Denise, I'm like, was that you or is that me? And she'll go, no, it was you. I didn't know it was me. I mean, it doesn't look like it's been eaten out, doesn't it? But maybe that's the problem, maybe it's hungry. Mind you, it was in public, isn't it? Always embarrassing when your stomach's rumbling in public. Yeah, if it was it. Yeah, maybe should get us a packet of crisps or something.
But you've got something live in there, I heard it.
You're mistaken.
Yeah, you see, he's just trying to style it out. He probably doesn't know if it was his stomach or not. But Dr. Wells, he's very suspicious. And because he's got a legitimate scientific interest, coupled with the fact that he's a nosy bleeder, he wants to get a look inside.
If someone were to drill a little hole in this crate during the night and take a look at what's inside, I'd be very grateful.
Well, we know it's a 2 million year old fossil that's desperate for a package of crisps. So the train is chugging away en route to its destination, and that night the porter decides to have a little peek inside the box. But after he's loosened the screws, a furry arm pops out at the box. The missing link fossil thing is alive and proceeds to pick a lock and let it send out at the box. And when the porter gets caught in the gaze of the missing link fossil thing, his eyes go white and start bleeding. Ooh! So we got a big furry prehistoric creature romping around the train, murdering folk. And all of the victims have these white eyes with blood streaming out on them. And after Dr. Wells does an autopsy on one of the corpses, he makes a fascinating discovery.
This brain has been drained. The memory has been removed.
I mean, God knows how he's worked that out, but he's the doctor, I'm not. But he hypothesises that the missing link creature ain't the problem. The missing link creature is just a host to some formless extraterrestrial who's been stranded on Earth for millions of years and is able to suck out the brains of all its victims to gather their knowledge, but also transfer his scent into other bodies. So just as they think they've killed it, he's able to pop off and jump into a different host. It ain't dissimilar to the plot of The Thing, where you've got this extraterrestrial that's been frozen for millions of years and then gets defrosted and starts merging everybody and assimilating them. Now, if it sounds daft, it is, but it rackles along at a cracking pace. You don't get bored at all. And you get a bit of a sense of paranoia as the extraterrestrial entity takes over different passengers on the train.
But what if one of you is the monster?
Monster? They're British, you know.
And if it weren't fun enough, about 2/3 of the way through the film, we get a highly entertaining cameo.
Who loves you, baby?
Yeah, Telly Savalis pops up as a Cossack captain, tasked with investigating the murders. And we shouldn't really be surprised that Telly Savalis is in this, because he's very knowledgeable about trains.
We're in the heart of the West Midlands. There are over 1 million people in Birmingham. 2 million a year use its modern rail terminal.
En route, the film builds to an exciting crescendo as the extraterrestrial entity leaps between different hosts and also demonstrates the capability to reanimate the corpses of its victims, creating a zombie army, including a zombie Savalis. What's not to love? Okeydoo, on to Ray's ratings. Well, never seen Horror Express, but Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, yeah, we're expecting, it'd be entertaining at the very least, so we're hoping for a 3-star film. Yeah, that's pretty much what I got, to be honest with you. It was pretty much exactly as I was expecting. Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing give it a sense of gravitas right from the off, even if the story is a load of cobblers. But yeah, I thought it'd be alright. I did enjoy it. And then Telly Savalis turns up, so that bumps it up as well, doesn't it? Well, I'll be honest, I were a bit disappointed we didn't get more of the zombie Savalis. We got a fleeting glimpse of zombie Savalis, didn't we? But I'd like to have seen a lot more of zombie Savalis. So yeah, it was a shame. That would have bumped it up another star, I reckon. So I'm rating Horror Express a 3-star film. Now, the more long-standing ravers amongst you who've been watching my reviews for some time now will be aware of Telly Savalis' liking for visiting British towns. But I've got to say, quite a few of you are very cynical. Don't believe that Telly Savalis has ever been to these places. Well, I have been doing some investigating to prove the cynics wrong. Now, Telly Savalis Looks at Birmingham were released in 1981. Yeah, he's never been to Birmingham, some of you lot say. Well, I've got the evidence he has. Because in 1980, the St Winifred's School Choir were top of the hit parade with There's No One Quite Like Grandma.
Grandma, we love you.
Oh, bloody hell, it makes you want to throw up, doesn't it? Bloody awful. And as part of their publicity tour, as well as appearing on your Top of Your Pops and getting assaulted by the Phantom Flanflinger on Tiswas,
Oh no! This is disgraceful! These poor little children, they can't do this! This is appalling!
they apparently appeared on Pebble Mill at 1, which were a sort of like your one-show type programme, just all sorts of rubbish on it. Some of you lot will remember it from chucking sickies when you should have been at school. Now, frustratingly, I can't find the footage, but I have been able to find some quotes from some of the members of the choir about their experiences at the BBC. Tara Danes were quoted as saying, "I held the door open for Terry Wogan, who swept past with his big cigar. When we did Pebble Mill at 1, we met Kojak actor Telly Savalis. I remember he had freckles on his bald head." Catherine Bailey said, "We were on Jim'll Fix It. There were a boy who wanted it fixed for him to sing with us. I bet he never tells anybody that now, for multiple reasons probably. Another time I sat on Telly Savalis' knee at Pebble Mill at 1 and asked him if he really liked lollies. He said no." So there you go, 2 eyewitness accounts from folk who were in the company of Telly Savalis at Pebble Mill Studios. And where were the Pebble Mill Studios? Birmingham! Yes indeed! Indisputable evidence that Telly Savalis did go to Birmingham, and he loved it. Right, just got to find some evidence that he went to Aberdeen and Portsmouth next.
Tickets, please.
I ain't got a ticket, I was going to buy it on the train. Tell you what, I can murder a bag of crisps and all if you can tell me where to get one of them. Well, I hope you enjoyed my review of Horror Express, Rayvers. And if you did, poke the old like button for me. Give it a good old poke. Or maybe just stare at it intently, like the missing link thing, and get it to poke automatically. Better than making people's eyes bleed, anyway. Yeah, and remember to share our reviews with your mates, and subscribe to the channel if you ain't already a subscriber. Much appreciated. As are all them lovely comments you lot keep popping on, thank you very much for those. Apologies if I don't get round to responding to them all, but I do love reading them. Thank you very much indeed for them. And this week's review was picked by one of the patrons over on my Patreon page. Come and join us. We've got a lovely Ickle community over there, and patrons and Ickle patrons get early access to the reviews, monthly podcasts, Brainiac challenges, and full patrons get a horse in the annual race night tournament. So I'll pop a link in the description below for that. And copyright bots permitting, I'll be back with another review for you very soon. So I will see you next time.
Okeydoo.